We've got Commission Chair Jonathan McComb here. You have been with the Buc Days Commission for how long?
I've been with the Buc Commission probably 18, 20 years. I kind of quit counting, you know, it keeps adding up.
And the tradition continues with Buc Days. Since 1938, this
Correct.
has been an event.
Correct.
Let's talk about the history.
So when Buc Days began back in 1938, it was basically guys and a group of business individuals getting together to promote a festival to celebrate Corpus. And since then it has evolved from a scholarship pageant that used to be handed out and whoever won got a trip to Disney World, to where now we're actually handing out scholarships. This year we're going to hand out $80,000 to a bunch of very, very deserving kids to help them go to college. And it's a game changer for them and some of their families. That this might be the first time they've ever been to college.
Jonathan, for you yourself, you just mentioned that you've been a part of this for 18 years. Why did you decide to be a part of Buc Days? Why is it so important to you?
You know, I can remember as a kid growing up and being in the rodeo and helping out then before I was even part of Buc Days, and in the back of there, going to the carnival and seeing all that. And once you kind of get involved with it, you see who it benefits and helps. And so it's a way to give back to the community that has supported so many good individuals.
And what better way to give back to the community than to put on these events once a year that bring us together, not only as Corpus Christians and South Texans, but as a community as a whole, because we celebrate one community, one
Correct.
culture.
Correct. We're all here together, and we all need to play by the rules and get along with each other. And this is a way to bring everybody together in so many different events and just to help out and give back to a community that gives so much to everybody else.
Absolutely.
The tradition continues, and every single year I feel like it gets bigger and better. I know that for a while there, the things were just so different due to the pandemic. But last night, going through that parade, I felt it just like I did when I was in high school. I mean, that energy. All those people, we got first place on our
Yes, congratulations.
Isn't that awesome?
Congratulations.
Yes. I know a lot goes into this,
yes.
right?
Yes, for sure.
So it's very special. We're going to treasure this, of course.
Good.
But, you know, the participation of the community, when it comes from the bands to all the different clubs and organizations, they are what make the Buc Days Parade.
Correct. I mean, it's all the individuals sitting on the sidelines or coming down the parade route. Everybody's involved in some aspect, and so it's just fun. It's a way to just celebrate, and everybody's, you know, it's just a good time.
Your favorite part of Buc Days when you were a child, a kid, your favorite memory, and what's your favorite now?
You know, I mean, obviously as a kid going to the carnival, eating popcorn and cotton candy and doing all the rides, that's obviously something that was fun. Going to the rodeo as a little one was fun. I think the best part now is, you know, giving out the money, giving out the scholarships. I can remember the first time I handed a check to an individual back when we used to have it at Buccaneer Stadium,
right.
and I'm glad the cameras weren't real close because I would have been crying. You know, it meant so much to me to be able to all this work all year long, you know, go into that, and then they send them to college, and it's huge. It's huge. That's my best part.
And we're going to meet some of the recipients here this morning. And I know that another favorite of yours has to be being part of Domingo Live today.
This is a huge aspect. Thank y'all for coming out and supporting Channel 3 as they support us and Domingo Live. So thank y'all, Barbi, Rudy, and for all that y'all do.
Well, we're going to be talking more with Jonathan a little bit later in the show because we want to talk about how we can get young people involved with the Buc Commission.
Correct.
How can you become a Buccarator? How can you volunteer for perhaps next year or in the coming years?
Correct.
There is a lot you can do to give back to your community, and you can do it through the Buc Commission as well.
Correct. Always looking for more volunteers. So we have a list that just sign up.
Absolutely. We'll be talking about that a little